Hello.
I know. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Hello, yeah.
Okay, cool. All right. I think, holy cow, look at everybody. It's awesome. Good. Everybody's having a good Monday. It's almost done, right?
Yeah. Great Monday.
Good. That's
You-
good, Jody.
Beautiful weather.
Is it?
Yeah. Got my steps in. Got my water in.
Good.
Good. Got a new-
Perfect.
I have a new shirt on that probably someone will find offensive, but I don't really care. It's funny.
Beard animal. I won't say it out loud. Oh boy, let's see if there's anybody else. Yes, perfect, perfect. Cool, I got a notification on Zoom that my audio wasn't working very well, but you guys can hear me okay?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right, cool, awesome, awesome. Well, so I've been struggling myself with this topic about believing in myself, and which some people are surprised, but I'm just like any other human being. But so I wanted to really kind of talk about that and answer any questions you guys have, obviously, about, you know, your programs and things like that, of course, but wanted to talk about, you know, believing in yourself and knowing that when you say I don't believe in myself, you actually start to think it and believe it, right? And how can we turn that around to boost our confidence and our self-image, and know that we have talents and abilities that people want to learn from. Each one of us is born with that, and we just have to tap into that. And it's hard sometimes because we kind of get settled into our lives and we get comfortable with where we're at. And sometimes, though, we're not happy with where we're at. And so how do we change or move away from that? And sometimes I think, you know, we weren't born, when we were born, obviously, we didn't have anxiety and stress and worry and all of that kind of stuff. But as we grew up, we feel that pressure, but we also have this identity system that we each have based on how we grew up and what we were told as we were growing up and maturing and becoming young women. And you start to believe the things that people tell you, even though they're probably, some of it's not true. Not that people would say things to us that, you know, was meant to hurt us, but some of that stuff wasn't really positive, and then you tend to believe that. And so now we're at a point in our life where we may still believe some of those things, but how do we push past that? And so that's really a part of Mind Body Beautiful too. It's not just the nutrition and the exercise, but it's the stuff up here, and that's why this is such a great a community where we can help each other get through those tough times. And all of us go through that. And I'm struggling with that in my life right now. And I get anxious, and sometimes I'm not so sure of myself. I mean, just being totally honest with you guys. There's things that I do know and I've done, and I use that, what I want to say, experience and things that have happened to me to teach you guys. But that doesn't mean that things that come around don't bother me. You know, it's kind of like, why are we worrying about what people think of us? Mm-hmm. We still do. As I get older, I don't so much. I mean, like when I was in my 20s, and you guys probably can identify that, you're always worried and want to do things for other people. You're not really doing them for yourself. So you know, it's, and then how do you not feel selfish about that kind of stuff? And, you know, we talk a lot about carving that time out for yourself to get take care of yourself, you know, whether it's your exercise that day or meal prepping or whatever it is, that is your time. That's your sacred time. And you should, you know, fit that into your schedule. But, so, I mean, what I just really wanted to kind of open it up for discussion, but I mean, I think sometimes, You know, why don't we believe in ourselves? What are some things that have happened to us? For me, well, you're not good at that. That's not something you're good at. Well, that doesn't mean I can't learn it, but sometimes we're told those things. And it's hard to move past that. And I don't know if you guys have experienced anything like that in your, I'm sure you probably have, and whether you feel comfortable talking about it or not. You know, and that might be, you know, some of us stress eat, some of us don't eat when we're upset. And it could be because of those things that have happened to us. And one thing is that what I want to tell you guys is that you are here to share your special gifts, whatever those might be. And it might be the position that you're in as far as your work. It might be just that, you know, like you affect somebody's life in a positive way. You give back to the community. I mean, there's all those things, and you guys all have the power and strength to live your highest life and make it the best life. And but that means you have to believe in yourself, that you can do it. You are very confident and capable of doing those things. You know, some of us have raised kids on our own, have been single parents. Some of us, you know, are still married, and we have blended families and all of those things. So those kinds of things bring all those other, you know, trials and tribulations too. And we get bogged down in the detail, you know, where it's kind of, what's that saying that you can't see the forest through the trees? You know, you're kind of just stuck in this, like you've got these blinders on and you can't see the big picture. And I think for me, that's where I get stuck, because I can't see that big picture sometimes. But
No, I know.
I mean, Byron's.
so I don't know. I just wanted to open it up. I mean, maybe you were told you weren't good enough.
I think with me personally, it started
Just on my
growing
call.
up in my family. You know, our parents weren't always real involved. Didn't, you know, give us a lot of praise at all, or encouraged us to do things. So right from the get-go, you know, you're always questioning, am I able to do this? Am I good enough?
Yep.
And then I remember one incident in high school. Some guy friend, you know, we hung out with a bunch of people, told me I had thunder thighs, you know, and when you're in high school, that really hurts. And so then you know, you start to think about your body maybe in a
Right.
negative way.
Right.
Or even when I was working full time before I was married, and had a decent position, but I thought, well, I'd interview for a different one, and I didn't get it. I think because I wasn't outgoing enough. I was too timid, and I just broke down crying.
Oh, sure.
And so yeah, you know, lots of experiences
Well,
throughout the
yeah.
years.
And you know, you didn't
But
forget that either, right?
persevering. I mean, just when I started the gym,
Right.
I had never done that before, and thought, but I'm going to do this. And I'm so glad I did. But
Right.
yeah, it's just those things that you always remember, and you try to just tell yourself, I'm okay. I'm good enough. And,
Right.
but yeah, there are
Right.
moments you have your doubts.
Right. Oh, for sure. You know,
Otherwise-
and people sometimes project their own feelings of their own inadequacies on you.
Yeah.
Right. And
Yeah.
then, you know, and they may not realize that they're doing it, but you take that stuff to heart. And I think a lot of women do that, especially. You just like, oh my gosh. And you didn't do anything wrong. It just happened to you. So, and you know, some people say things they do say things to hurt you, but they're lying about it. Just for whatever reason they want to hurt.
You know, like a
And
stupid high school kid. What is,
Right.
you know, they just say things and not realizing, you know, how it might
Yeah.
affect you.
yes. Right. And
Yeah.
kids, you know, kids are mean, but there are a lot of women out there that are mean. Oh my goodness. I think, yeah, there's that movie Mean Girls. That is, you know, especially in high school, but even now, I mean, there are groups of women that I choose not to hang out with, because I don't want that, you know, I don't want that drama and that stuff
Yeah,
in my life.
Exactly.
So, you know, when you have those thoughts of that that self-doubt and they pop in your head, remember to have faith in yourself. Believing you does make it so. And that's just like when I talk to you guys about, Laura's back in here, let me add her, talk about, telling yourself you're fat or you're ugly or your face looks bad or your hair is bad and all that. You're really going to start to believe that. It's so true. Our minds control so much. Our minds control every decision that we make. It controls whether we get out of bed and exercise. It controls all of that. Get up off the couch. And then those excuses start in. So, and a lot of that stems from those like long held limiting beliefs we have of each other. And we have to like cut ties with them and be different. Not always easy to do. And so there isn't any magical formula that's going to change that, or like if you do these 5 steps, it's going to go away. There really isn't. It's really self-talk, learning to love yourself, embrace the self-acceptance. Don't self-criticize all the time. We get enough of that in the world. Don't do that to yourself. All of you here have made a decision to put yourself first. And so that's amazing to see that. And I'm sure it's amazing, right? Jody, did you want to say something?
I said, for me, this whole thing, I'm going to be 56 years old this year. And I just thought about,
no, I'm going to be 57. Shoot.
I just thought about how I'm finally, seriously, just learning how to love myself. It's not, I don't think it's common knowledge in this group that I grew up in a foster home and from the age of 3 until I aged out of the system. So I've spent my entire life trying to get validation from other people.
Right. Wow.
And didn't know, so I just poured everything I had into my kids when my marriage fell apart, and it was just, really codependent relationships my entire life. So I just probably yesterday or the day before, I was sitting there thinking, I'm finally learning how to love myself. And then I can, instead of dropping walls for people, they're going to have to climb them. Yep. Because I'm not dropping them anymore. They're going to have to prove their worth to me instead of the other way around.
Right.
That time is short.
It is. And that's a thing too, as we get older, life, you start to think about your mortality too. Like, like my uncle passed away and there's just been a lot of friends that have lost parents recently. And it's just like, oh boy, wow. Like life is so short. Enjoy it. It is.
How many more trips around the sun do I have?
Right. Right.
Really?
Exactly. Yeah. And, we are more powerful than we really realize. Yeah. Women, we are very strong. We are very strong. I think more, yes, we're physically strong, but we're mentally and emotionally really strong. Stronger than I think a man is in that regards. We can let our emotions out. We can, and which is really good. I mean, some men are really good at that too. But for the most part, it's hard for them, to do that. So, there was that movie called, have you guys heard of the movie Frozen? Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so, I've never really watched, I've seen it and my grandkids will watch it. I've never really watched it through, but it's a story of 2 orphan princesses. So this is a child's movie that can teach us as adults a thing or two. And just so Elsa is the eldest and she had a special gift that she was keeping secret for fear of hurting others. And then she accidentally hurt her younger sister when they were little girls. And so Elsa created barriers and she shut others out because she had hurt somebody. So she really hid her true self because she didn't believe or trust in herself. And so one day this big secret came out and it was revealed. And she had to undergo this big transformation. And then that song, Let It Go, probably heard that. That's how that came about. And so she realized that she isn't bad or flawed or wrong. It just was something that had happened. And so she grew up in the movie, and she was done hiding her true self, and she was done trying to be perfect. And so it's interesting, here's this child's movie, or this kid's movie.
Yeah.
It could teach us a lesson, right? Like, we don't have to hide behind that anymore. We can be who we want to be, and be different, and be the person that we want to be. It doesn't really matter what other people tell us, right? I mean, they can encourage us, and we can ask for help and that, but ultimately we have that control, and we have those choices in our life. So, so you ask yourself questions like, do you value your gifts? Because you all have gifts. All of you have gifts, and some of you are really social people, people person, whatever, people. Like, you enjoy that, and tell yourself, this is who I am, and I'm really proud of it. And that doesn't mean that you don't want to be a better person, a better woman, or mom, grandma, whatever that is. We always have opportunities to change and be different and be better. But believe in yourself, because you guys are powerful, and you can do it. And when I was researching, just kind of talking about this topic, this is just something that I'm struggling with. And I have a lot of limiting beliefs that I've hung on to for a long, long time. And I think some of that is maybe some from my childhood. My mom, I love my mom. She's a little overbearing, still kind of is, but, just through relationships and difficulties there, and, raising kids and all that kind of stuff. But just believe in yourself is really, what I want to tell you guys, and leave that with you, because you all have come a long way from when you started. Just even the short time that I've known you all. And I'm so happy and so proud of all of you. I just wanted to share that with you, that it's okay to have those feelings, but really, deep down in your heart, just really believe in yourselves, and look at how far you've come. And some of you started on your journey long before me, and now you're here, and it's even more. So, my gifts and my talents are, I love talking and networking with people, but I like to share my experiences, but I also want to help women, be the best that they can be. And that's, just the combination. It's a whole body experience, and it's just that path. It's that those lifestyle changes that you can make. And yeah, we all struggle, and we have situations where we're not so good, but being able to be strong enough to come back and, bring that discipline and motivation, and reach out when you need help. And so, a lot of times too, and I'm probably getting off topic here, because one thing leads to another, but reach out when you need help, because that's what we're here for. And a lot of us don't know, and I know we talked about this last week too, a lot of us don't know if we're struggling, and we feel like, oh, what are they going to think if I'm struggling? Are they going to still like me, or they're going to think I'm bad, or whatever it might be? But that's not what this is about. This is about just letting us know. And, we don't need to know details, but you might just say, hey, I can't get out of my rut. I can't get motivated. Whatever. And then talking through that, we can just help each other that way. And because we're all in that boat sometimes. And, we talked about the time of the year, and how we struggle with, motivation to even get out of bed sometimes, like, whoa.
Pam reached out to me after last week, and I appreciate that.
Who did?
Pam.
Oh,
Yeah.
Awesome.
Reached out, just check in on me to say how I was doing. So
Good.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah. That's what we're here for. That's awesome. Good. So really, I wanted to just keep believing in yourself. You guys are all rock stars. You are killing it. You're amazing, amazing women. And I'm really proud to know all of you. And you help me. Oh, thanks. You help me just as much as I help you, because I learn something new all the time from you guys. So, yeah. Anybody have anything else either on this topic, or any questions, concerns, anybody struggling somewhere?
Not this
Laura,
one.
and I know my video isn't working because I can't figure it out on my laptop.
That's okay.
I'm just a big blur. It looks like my finger's over the camera, but it's not.
It's a beautiful color, Laura.
Mushy, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, sometimes I feel like I have trouble knowing what I want because I feel like I've spent so much of my life trying to make other people happy and doing what I think other people will, how they will be pleased about me or how I can please them, that sometimes I just have a hard time knowing what I want.
Right, right. That makes sense. That makes sense because, damn. Can you guys hear that?
It was Thor.
Oh, no, not at all. Not at all. We thought it was Thor.
A horse back there?
He's actually laying here nice and quiet. He's sleeping. Yeah.
So what are your thoughts on that? Does anybody have anything that they've done, or maybe I'm just not recognizing the things that I do know about myself? I don't know. Sometimes I just struggle with that. I'm kind of having to start a new life now too, since a divorce recently. So it's just like, okay, now I need to make my life what I want it to be, since the past few years it hasn't been. So
Right.
it's overwhelming because I don't want to have regrets or not make the most of my time.
Oh, right, right. Yeah, that's, I think some of us here have had to start over in kind of that new life, right? And doing something different. And what do you want? Some people say, I want to be happy. Well, what does that mean?
Yeah.
But, and I know you a little bit, Laura, and you have a super positive attitude. You're very positive, have a great outlook on life. You're easy to talk to. You're very personable. You're social, which is, that's great. Because a lot of times when stuff like that happens, you kind of turn inward and then you just kind of get lost.
Laura, was there anything that you used to really enjoy doing years ago that's kind of gone by the wayside?
I try to think about that sometimes, and there's things that I've held on to, of course, like, working out and going to the gym, which has been good. I've also been trying a lot of new things that I haven't tried in the past. Like, I went zip lining, and I went with some friends to stay up on a lake in a cabin, like in one of those old resorts. And I did stand-up paddleboarding, and I'm trying to do different things to see what I like.
Yeah.
So that's something I'm trying to do, but again, it's easy to get in the old mindsets too.
Right.
So sometimes it's hard to change what you tell yourself and what you have for so long.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I think that's great. I know when we talk too, you are trying new things. It's kind of like trying to see what really sticks and what you really enjoy.
Yeah.
Doing. I know you like, I think, it's like that writing, maybe journaling would help. Maybe about like what I try and journal is like one positive thing that's happened today.
Mm-hmm.
What is one thing that I can do? I don't want to say better, but different tomorrow. And then I'll write down 3 things or some things that I'm grateful for. That kind of helps. Like, I'm grateful for, sometimes I'm just grateful that, I didn't burn something, or grateful that, and it doesn't have to be this overwhelming, I'm grateful I saved a life, it doesn't have to be anything like that, but it might be just, I drove in some really, really bad weather on, when was that? Friday night. It was horrible. Horrible. I was grateful I made it to my destination. I'm like, oh, so I think that has helped a lot, because there's, you think you're kind of down in the dumps and stuff, and you kind of get to that, like, I feel sorry for myself. But when you start to write down things that you're grateful for, it really kind of puts things in perspective. But journaling, I find a lot of, I have to be more consistent with it, but when I do it, I really like it. It helps just get my thoughts and stuff out. And I'm wondering if that might help a little bit.
Are you interested in skydiving?
That seems a little scary to me. You might have to shove me out. I don't know.
I was supposed
I
to
could
go
put
with
it on my bucket list.
I was supposed to go with my sister this spring, but she can't go now. So I'm trying to find somebody as
Oh,
crazy as me to jump out of a perfectly
Oh.
good airplane.
oh,
It won't be me.
think about it.
No,
No.
thank you.
No, I'm not. I don't
I
think
want to be
so.
around for my family for a while. I don't get to see them enough.
Right.
Come on, ladies.
Yeah, but I mean, zip lining and,
That
you
I would
know,
do.
that's not easy to do. Paddle boarding, it takes a lot of balance and courage because you're fear of falling. I mean, you're just going to fall in the water, right?
Yeah.
But still, it's like, so like trying those new things, that's great. I would try journaling, and to just see what comes out and up, like maybe even write down, who do I want to be? What is my goal for, maybe in 2 months, something that you, want to try or do, vacations.
Okay.
Yeah.
Journaling is a good idea. I like
think
that idea.
that's really helped me. Pros and cons on different things. I know you had said you were looking at maybe you would want to buy a house in the future.
Yeah.
Like what does that look like? Where would you want to live and what kind of house? And that might help a little bit too. And
Yeah.
yeah,
That sounds
hopefully,
good.
yeah. And sometimes it's hard to know who you want to be.
Yeah. I like to try. I want to find people that I want to be like. So I'm kind of happy to be in this group because maybe it'll help me get closer to finding people that I want to be like. Not that I have to be exactly like them, but I can pull things from each of you maybe that
Right.
I want to try or that I admire or that I want to work towards.
Right.
And I guess just starting this whole program is probably enough for me to think about right now.
You're doing great. Those first couple of weeks, just don't like, I don't know if you saw my message, don't be real hard on yourself. It just takes a little while to kind of, acclimate to when am I going to work out and when I'm going to do this. And
Yeah.
I think you and I talked this week, so we'll talk a little bit more about that, but it's normal to feel a little like, oh, kind of off. And
Yeah.
am I doing the right thing? You're not going to do anything wrong at all. Usually when people are with their food and stuff, you're usually eating too little and you don't realize that you can eat a lot more.
Yeah. That's where I come sometimes too.
Right.
And then I think, oh no, eggs aren't on the list, so I shouldn't eat them. But I want to eat eggs.
But
I don't want to be too picky.
Right. Now that list is, I mean, it's a great thing to follow if you can, but if you find that you're not getting like sometimes that protein and that, feel free to do that. It's not like, you're going to sabotage yourself. Sometimes you just need to do it and eat it. The reason why eggs aren't on there and dairy is because there's a lot of people who have an intolerance to it and they don't even really know it.
Okay.
But if you've never had a problem with them, you're probably going to be okay. So just run those things by me. We've had to add different protein sources for some people too, because maybe some of the stuff on there is not something that they like. But yeah, we can do that. I want to make sure you're getting enough to eat. That list is perfect to guide you, but it's not the end all be all at all.
Yeah, I'm trying to plan. I'm planning better this week. So
Are you? Okay.
I've gotten some turkey. I made some of that sausage with the ground turkey and some brown rice, and I've kind of portioned things out. So I'm just gradually building that into some of the things that I'm used to eating. So it's like you said, it's a process. I just need to be patient with myself.
Right. I know. I think too, a lot of us are not patient with ourselves. I want to learn. I want to know everything like right now, and I want to do it all really well. But yeah, you're doing really, you're where you're supposed to be.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I've taken enough time. Someone else talk now.
No. That's what this is about. So no.
Thank you.
You're welcome. How's Kathy?
Kathy's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have some good weather finally
Do you?
for a few days, and then we'll go back to the 30s.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to get myself outside as much as possible.
Right. We're supposed to be getting ice storms here.
I heard it's sleeting just before.
it?
but I think it's
Like,
not.
Yeah, so maybe that's coming your way. I hope not, but yeah, ice, not snow, but ice. So freezing
That's
rain.
worse. I'd
Yeah.
rather have the snow than ice.
Right, right. For sure, you can't really drive in the ice,
No.
right? Yeah, so
Yeah.
things going well though?
Yeah, for the most part.
Okay.
I mean, just everything you're saying, I'm kind of like, yep,
Yep.
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 Yeah. So one thing too is we're not alone in a lot of this stuff. So it affects all of us for sure. Yeah.
I'm amazed at what I'm learning about my body and how it reacts to certain foods. Because we had talked last week about it was a rather high protein amount that I was taking in, and I
Right.
didn't realize just how lousy I was feeling
Mhm.
until I talked to you and we dropped it back down, and just literally within a day or a day and a half, I had my energy back. I mean, I didn't feel quite so sluggish.
Mhm.
I wasn't as moody. I mean, I felt awful.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize how awful I was feeling and that's what it was from.
Too much protein.
Too much. Yeah.
No.
We just
I mean,
brought her down.
Yeah. Because I was at what, 195? I think I was at 195 a day, but we had upped my water, but it's still,
Yeah. It was too much.
my body just was not going to go along with that program.
Right.
So, and like literally within a day and a half, and I was just huge difference. So
But-
learning to pay attention, to what's going
Right.
on.
Right. And I know Pam too, you know how foods affect you too.
I do.
Yeah. And so Pam's are you still weighing yourself every day?
Well, every day.
Yeah. Just to see.
Come hell or high water, no matter what I did the day before.
Now that's her choice. I'm not
Ugly
making her
today,
do it.
yesterday. She was real ugly. But I did and recorded it. But yeah, no, every day, because it does show me what I've eaten, and how it's affected me, for
Oh,
sure.
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's why I started doing it a couple months ago or something. Yeah, Diana did not force that on me. I chose to do that myself to see what the different foods were doing.
It does. And you all can try it, but it can mess with your head. And I don't want anybody doing it if it would do that, because
Yeah.
it's like if you weigh yourself 5 times a day, it's all gonna look different, and so when you weigh yourself every day, it's really the effects of your weight that morning is based on what you did the day before. So whether you didn't eat enough or drink enough water, or you had a bunch of salty foods, or you had some alcohol, your weight's going to be up. It's not fat, but it's usually just water weight, inflammation and stuff caused by what you had the day before. And you all know, when you feel bloated and after you don't eat something, you eat something that you haven't in a while, and it does that. And that's not fat by any means. Now, of course, if you continue to do that every single day, of course, it all adds up, right? So it is interesting to see how your weight fluctuates. Not enough water will really tell you,
Right.
because the more muscle you have, the more water you're going to have in your body too. This is really a very normal thing.
Okay.
So, but yeah. What else do you guys have?
I know I had asked the question earlier or last week, just in passing, that when you're at your, you've met your, I don't want to say calorie limits or calorie goal for the day,
Sure.
and your carbs, your fat, and your protein. If you're still hungry, which is the one that you would be more inclined to go over on? Your carbs, your fat, or your protein?
Protein, but for you, that's not going to work.
So
Depends on how much. If she's got, yeah. Protein,
So-
and then I would actually, fat has more calories, but fat, like if it's at the end of the day and you're hungry, having a few almonds or a little bit of avocado is actually good for you, because fats really actually help support our hormones.
mhm.
So your human growth hormone and your testosterone, all that. So that wouldn't be a horrible thing to have before you go to bed.
I figured out I do okay up until about 165 grams of protein,
Yeah.
at least for now. I mean, with
Right.
more muscle, we might be able to increase that a little bit more.
Right.
But right now, about 165-ish is my limit before I start feeling
Yeah.
kind of.
And so you know that about yourself, which is good. Yeah.
So I feel much better this week. I mean, I've
Good.
not only done one, but sometimes my workout twice.
Yay.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. Figured out how to make this happen. You know?
That's good. Well, I'm glad. And I think it was probably the combination of that protein and then just the weather and all that kind of stuff that was affecting you. And it just kind of all hit at once.
Yep.
Weather's killing me, I'll tell you.
Oh,
Yeah.
This up and down, up and down, up and down, and
yep. 50
dark
one day
days.
and 12 the next.
right, exactly, right. 8 to 10 inches of snow, and then now not a flake in my yard. I mean, just so stupid.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah,
We
crazy.
have I have grass.
Well, I now have the grass.
We
Yeah.
haven't
but
had
I
much
didn't.
snow in Wisconsin. here.
Yeah. We haven't had much. We've had cold, but
Yeah.
weird. It's been a really weird winter here.
Really weird.
Mm-hmm. Very
Yeah, I managed to get 3 miles in today.
good.
Oh,
Yeah.
very good.
It was great too. And
You
it was
outside?
55. What's that?
Oh,
You went outside for your 3 miles. That's nice.
Yeah.
Outside, it was awesome. And it was sunny, 55 to 60. I mean, it was just
Wow.
beautiful. You know, not just walking, but I got some jogging too, and that felt pretty good.
Oh, I bet. Yeah. Those
Amazing.
endorphins are rushing. That's awesome. Yeah. It's nice to be able to get out and walk.
So, yeah, I don't know why I live in New York. In the snow belt, no less.
Yeah. I say that about Wisconsin too. Like, woo.
yeah.
But it is what it is. And Kathy's in Delaware.
Oh,
Ah,
And these we don't have these temperatures.
Right.
Yeah, this is so weird. You know, you wake up one morning, it's 19 degrees. I'm like, that doesn't happen here. What is going on?
Right. It's been so,
I mean,
yeah.
usually the winters, you're 30s, 40s. Not
nice.
Not
19.
19. Yeah.
No.
Different. I know Florida was cold for a long time too.
A
Right.
long time.
Yes.
I heard
bet
it went broke.
Yeah. Yeah. One of my sons and his wife went down there and they were looking forward to hanging out on the beach and it was 50s.
Right.
Yeah. So it was kind
I
of
was
a bummer.
there a week ago and it was 60s.
Yeah.
One day 75, but otherwise.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. it's
Have we
been-
heard from Pat at all? How she's doing? I know she had company.
Oh,
in.
that poor
refrigerator.
gal has been through the ringer.
Yeah.
Oh, every time I read her post, I'm like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, what else? I
Right,
know.
exactly.
I know. She reached out to me today on Trainer Eyes about her workout and she had, she's got her sense of humor, that's for sure.
Always does.
If anybody will get through it, boy, she will. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
so bad for her.
Right. Oh, crazy stuff. Heidi, you're kind of quiet. How are you?
I was just thinking to myself, I feel quiet today. But I've been thinking about all these great things I want to say, or like just listening to everybody. But my sister who lives in Mississippi, she just told me that she's had this debilitating thing happen and they don't know what it is. And she can't walk, can't drive,
Oh, wow.
all this stuff. And so I'm just feeling a little sad, a little helpless for her.
Wow.
So yeah, that's just where I am today. I just learned this yesterday.
Oh, wow.
So-
How old is she?
Oh my gosh, she's 40.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's crazy. She's a mom of teenagers and
Yeah.
and she can't do anything, can't cook, can't nothing.
Wow.
So
She been to healthcare professionals or
everyone, but not,
Oh.
I mean, where she lives, it's not the best healthcare. So she's on a waiting list to get to Mayo in Florida.
Okay.
So
Wow. Yeah, I would think that
Just
would be
life.
urgent.
I know that's kind of what's driving me crazy is come back to Minnesota. We have Mayo here.
Right. Oh, wow. Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. So thanks for listening, but that's just kind of where my
Oh,
head is today.
yeah. Oh, for sure. Yeah, that's
Tough.
hard and you want to do so much and help, but you feel kind of stuck.
Yes.
I mean, it's different if she lived next door or, you know.
Right.
But yeah, that is tough. Oh, I know.
Yeah. And then, I mean, but it also is like, wow, it's like this bittersweet thing. Like, I'm so grateful. It reminds me of how precious, again, that life is, and how it's just the simple things that we take for granted. Like, I can do anything with my body that I want to do when I decide.
Right.
And to
Right.
have that taken away. Yeah. So it's sort of been that like humbling thing for me too. Like, okay, it doesn't matter. There's no bad days because
Yeah.
I can do
Yeah.
anything with this body. So
Right. Oh, right.
I'm
And-
grateful for this group and for like the awakening to it.
That's great.
Yeah. So,
Good. Well, thanks for sharing, and
We'll be thinking of
definitely
you.
we'll be thinking about you, and if we
Yeah.
can help at all with.
thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it is. Life is so short, and to live it the best you
Mhm.
can, and we have choices to do that. And again, believing in yourself, right? So this is a perfect topic for today. So, yeah.
Well, and for you too. I keep watching your numbers, the number of people in your group just keep going up by leaps and bounds and crazy amounts. So
I know.
good on
Yeah,
you.
Pam knows. She's in there all the time. Yeah, we hit 8,000
Yeah,
members
good on
now.
you.
I know.
Wow.
Congratulations.
Fantastic.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? Oh my goodness. Yes. I had a friend reach out and go, "You're at 8,000." And I was like, "What are you talking about?" And then I was like, "Oh, I bet it's my group." Because I was waiting for that to turn over. Because
Yeah.
you can see like 7,900, and you can go a little bit further to see, and then it must have just changed over like yesterday or something. But yeah, so cool.
Congratulations on your hard work, and congratulations on your line of supplements. That's
Thank
awesome.
you. Yep, and then I'll be coming out with 4 more products.
What is
Soon.
this for?
Yeah, or 5. I think 5. So we're gonna do pre-workout.
Oh, good. Yes.
Pre-workout and oh my gosh, anxiety. There's an anxiety formula coming out.
Ooh, yes.
I'm gonna.
Can we hook it right into our vein?
Yeah, so there'll be 2 flavors of pre-workout, and then anxiety, and then I'm gonna do a probiotic is the other one.
Good.
Yes. And then I think there is one more. I'm just kind of lost at the top of my head here. Anyway, yeah. So those.
So do you know the timing on those by chance?
It
I
won't-
ask you
Yeah,
because-
it won't be too long. Honestly, I'm trying. There's 2 different kinds of this pre-workout. I want the one that doesn't have a lot of caffeine in it. There's some that are just like, it's way too much. So there's 2 different kinds I'm going to try and just see how it feels for me working out, because I don't like having the shakes and the jitters, that kind of stuff. So once I try that, that's been ordered, should be here really soon. Then all we have to do is get our labels put on it. So I'm in the next couple of weeks for sure.
Awesome.
Yeah. So then that'll all be out. We're going to call it Rev Up.
Oh, I like that name. I was just thinking today, I wondered how you come up with the names for all.
Yeah, Rev Up. Actually, Dan's pretty good with some of that stuff, but Rev Up was. I think I'm looking, and I haven't made a decision. It's going to be a female. You know how it's like not actually testosterone, but it is kind of a female like a testosterone boost, but it's not. So what it is it's an ingredient that will kick your testosterone production in a little bit. It's different. It's not like if you take hormone replacement therapy and you're on testosterone, that's okay. I mean, that's good. This isn't going to make it go crazy high, but it's going to give you that extra energy. I'm looking at what that looks like. What's that?
So you take it with that?
You can, yeah, but you can take it by itself. And so it just kind of depends on what your goals are, if you want that extra boost in it, but it's not actual testosterone. Yeah, it's just something that will just kind of enhance that hormone production, because we have it. Women have it. We lose it at a certain age, and so it's okay for us to have more of it. In fact, I recommend we have it. I think it's, instead of being kind of on your heels, you're on your toes, like you have more energy. Your workouts kind of get a little bit of a boost to them as well. So, but anyway, that's one of the products too.
Awesome.
Yeah. So I'm excited for those to, yeah. So once you get the first couple out, it's not as difficult to get the next ones because you already have your labels made. You have your, you know, your logo and all the FDA stuff and all that kind of stuff.
Sorry.
You must know when you're on this call. All right. That's okay. Anybody have anything else? No? You guys are awesome. So believe in yourself. Keep telling yourself that it'll get you through all some of those ruts and those times in your life where things just don't feel right. You guys are all strong, confident, amazing women. So keep going out there and killing it. Let us know if you need anything at all. You can in the group, in Trainerize, whatever you're comfortable with. All right.
Do.
All right, guys.
You thinking of Heidi?
Yep. Have a good one. We'll see you on Wednesday, Facebook
Bye,
Live.
everybody.
All right,
Thank you.
Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.